4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. Hey, welcome back to Bella Talks TV. This is Amanda Bella, and I have so many things to go over with you guys this week. I couldn't wait to record. If you have been online with me, of course, always, the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I'm directing you over to my Instagram account, because that's just where I'm spending my most energy and time talking about all this stuff when I'm not doing the podcast. So make sure you're over there following me at Bella Talks TV. But if you were on my Instagram yesterday, you saw my saga with my Florida apartment complex. I've been carrying out on them. And the problem was really that I come down here for the season and I do these things like want to record a podcast and also have other things that, that I work on. And they're constantly doing construction and drilling. And apparently I finally found out that if you're also a Giggly Squad person, when I say apparently, I always have to be like, apparently, I always have to reference other podcasts, which I'm going to do a lot today in this episode too, because I have so much inspiration from these other people that I listen to. But so I'm basically in battle with my apartment complex right now here, because I had to wait to record with you guys until Friday. Right now, everyone's on lunch. The pool here has been dug up, and apparently there has been some zoning or some kind of like code violations. I found out from the corporate office of my apartment complex when I called to complain yesterday that the pool was closed and just the noise and so, we all have our little Karen moments, but if you were following me, I had to wait to record with you guys until Friday at noon when I knew that they would be on lunch and not doing the pools, that you don't hear the drilling and the jackhammering in the background. So thanks for being here. Just want you to know how much effort and timing and planning that goes in for me to be able to record this, because I love doing it so much. And I also was doing the Lord's work for you guys last night, staying up late. We had a lot of things last night. We had the Southern Hospitality season finale. So that was on. And then at 9 p.m. on Peacock comes out the new Traitors episode, so I had to watch that. And then we also had the Love is Blind premiere on Netflix yesterday, so I needed to get an episode or two under my belt to be able to talk to you guys about it this week. So that and so much more is coming up in this episode. I have tons of notes to go over with you, and just thanks for being here again every week. I'm really just here because I love this as an outlet. I'm also planning my wedding, which I talk about that a lot too. We're at 50 days out now, and I just need a break. I need a break from looking at pearl gloves and acrylic signs and just floral design. And I never thought that I would be this girl, but I'm fully in my bridezilla era right now. And when I started, I would always be like, oh, I'm going to be bride chila. And I have to say, like, I'm definitely not someone who's going to be really like, too worked up, but there have been a few times now where I have like lost my cool and just totally, I feel like just bombed as far as being a bride chila. So but here we are today to talk about Bravo, and I'm sure little things will slip in here and there about my apartment or the wedding or whatever I have going on in my life today. But again, thanks for joining me. Let's just get right into it. So one thing I have to talk about with you guys and get out of the way is let's just talk about a little bit of Vanderpump Rules, because they're actually not in my top 5 countdown of the most talked about moments this week, which isn't like a shocker because I think we're on episode 3 now. And a lot of people are starting to see, I wouldn't say it's going to be like a flop season. That's so rough to say that about something. I know that they worked hard and they all tried to come with like the best game that they had for this season 11, but like, how are you going to follow up the Scandival season? Like, of course it's going to feel like it's not that great, but we're not back at Lizard Funeral. Like, we're not back at, if you guys know what I'm talking about, when Schwartz had his Lizard Funeral, like that was, I think 2020. Like, we're not back in this dark age of VPR where the storylines are just so awful, but it is very clear what they're trying to do here. So a lot of people already are starting to think Ariana's had like enough attention, but I don't. I still am, I use the word stan like as a joke, but I believe everybody has a light and a dark side. Like you can't really believe that somebody is just purely perfect and great in all of their ways. I think everybody, no matter how much you love them as a character on your show, like you have to be able to admit that they're not perfect either and that they have flaws, because everybody does. But Ariana is a perfect, character to me because she is flawed. She is real. She's not like people always want like this perfect victim, this perfect girl to get cheated on. Like, no, she may not have deserved all of this fame and attention. But one thing I do love about her is that she did have a vision for herself and a dream. I think she fell in love along the way. And I actually think Tom did hold her back in a lot of ways. Now that she's free from him, I did actually get to go, or I did get to go see her on Broadway last week. Like it was amazing. So I go back with Chicago already. Chicago, and I think it came out in 2003. I would have been a sophomore, junior in high school. And then my senior year in high school, I actually participated in what is called Junior Miss. It's a scholarship pageant. So it's not a beauty pageant, a la Rachel. Don't worry, I wasn't up there doing like a fake surfboard as my talent. Actually, you know what I did for my talent in this was I did a monologue from Clueless. So that says, again, anything about me. Clueless is my favorite movie. Clueless and Almost Famous, but I would never get It's All Happening tattooed on my arm, even though I love Shishu and I love Penny Lane. But anyways, back to Ariana. Saw her on Broadway. I cried. I go back with Chicago because again, I was in this pageant my senior year in high school, and we danced to All That Jazz. So that's a song from Chicago. I've always loved this movie. Some of my other friends actually danced and did talents to other Chicago songs. So like, I just love that soundtrack. I know every word. And going to see Chicago for the first time on Broadway, which now I've gone to like a few shows as a New York girly. Like you guys know I live in New York, but I'm not from there. So I didn't grow up going there. I never went there until I was 28 or something like that for the first time. So now I've seen Wicked. I have seen Aladdin, The Lion King, and I have seen Kinky Boots, and I have seen Chicago. So I've now seen 5 Broadway shows. So I think that's pretty amazing. And it was really, really great. I got to see a couple of my other favorite Bravo influencers there at the show. And it's just always such a moment going to any sort of Bravo related event. Everybody is such a family. So really, really good time. 10 out of 10 recommend. And they just extended her days because of popular demand. So I plan on going to see her like at least 2 more times. I'm trying to go, hit me up, and we can meet up and go in the city. I'm so down. Okay, so anyways, moving on from Vanderpump Rules. I mean, there's a lot going on. Like I said, it's not a flop season for me. I'm loving Ariana. I'm loving Lala coming back a little bit more vulnerable this season and her being able to just show a different side of her. I think she's really unpacking a lot of the stuff that went on with Randall. And that's always a really interesting thing that we didn't get to talk about that much last season, because I'm sure, like she said, she had NDAs and they're in a legal situation and stuff. So she can't really talk about it that much. But I listened to her podcast and I try to get as much of her personal life as possible. Again, she is not a perfect character. I don't stand Lala. I don't think that every decision and thing that she says is great. But these are people that I've been watching and feeling, connected to for 11 years. So it's their family. They're my Bravo fam. So anyways, if you're not watching Vanderpump Rules this season, or if you're just thinking it's going to be awful and you're not bothering, give it a chance. See how this plays out. James Kennedy was on Watch What Happens Live with DJ Maddie Reese from Southern Hospitality. And even he was like, you guys just need to watch. Like Sandoval probably is going to just continue to dig his own grave. He's really not having a great season either. Him and Ariana are both coming off like not great. So there's a lot of stuff going on about James Kennedy in the press. I'm not even ready to talk about that yet. I kind of want to wait to like see what else goes on with that. It's really dark. So if you didn't hear Allie on Sheena's podcast, Shenanigans, go listen to that. I'm not sure what I think about it. So just spreading awareness, but not really able to form an opinion yet on that stuff. So anyways, that's kind of what's been going on with me in Vanderpump Rules and seeing Chicago and all this fun stuff going on. But let's get into it again. I think I talked about last week. I wanted to get back into this segment of like what no one's talking about. So I just feel like no one's talking about this season's Bachelor, Joey. The season again, like, is it just because we've seen this for so long? Like, I was so into the Golden Bachelor. I think I was probably one of, well, no, there were a few other podcasters out there too talking about it, but I was so into that. I loved the concept, and I think it was great casting, and I think it was a great season. They got married and they're together, and hey, it worked. So we're getting the Bachelorette spinoff that has been confirmed. And I just feel like nobody's talking about this season. I'm watching. I actually binged kind of like 2 and 2, like the first 2 episodes, the second 2 episodes, which these episodes are so long. It was like 7 hours of Bachelor I had to watch. But I do want to still continue to stay interested in this show because it's iconic. It goes back to the beginning of reality TV. It is part of pop culture every season. And I like the girls this season. I'm really liking the girl Maria from Canada. I know that she's polarizing, but I'm Team Maria. I was really excited to see on the 2-in-1 that Sydney went home. We all love a good dramatic 2-in-1. I mean, The Bachelor, if you guys didn't also watch the show Unreal, I'm going to talk about that too, but that's a scripted show based on The Bachelor that was only like 4 seasons, but it's really, really good. So go find that and watch it if you're a Bachelor fan, Bachelor Nation member like me. But go watch that because it really explains a lot about how The Bachelor is produced and how, just back in the day before we knew, like even with The Hills and Laguna Beach and stuff, these shows we thought were reality shows but really were being like heavily produced behind the scenes, just explains a lot about that. And that still goes on a lot in The Bachelor still. Everything just seems kind of like fabricated in these situations. But at the end of the day, it is compelling to watch. And I watch reality TV because I love just watching the dynamics. I like getting that cringe feeling. And I also like getting that feeling of like wanting to like, I don't know, hide under my blanket when I watch these people. It's kind of what I'm there for. So I'm definitely getting that from this season. So one funny thing about The Bachelor, Joey, he's getting kind of roasted right now. So they go on their first international trip, right? He's like whittling the girls down. Finally, they get the card from Jesse, or Jesse comes in and he's like, okay, guys, Joey's not here at the mansion. He already left. Where is he? And all the girls are like, ah. And then he's like, oh, Joey's in Malta. You guys are going to meet him in Malta. And I thought that was so great. That was the first country that they went to. Malta is so in right now. If you guys didn't watch the last season of Below Deck, they were also in Malta. And I actually just booked my honeymoon to Italy, but we were really, really close to going to Malta. My fiance is actually 50% Maltese. So, and Italian. So he's mixed. We ended up going with Italy, but we're going to go to Malta too. That's also on our list. So kind of love seeing that representation of Malta on there. And yeah, his grandma was born there and lived there. So I think it's so cool. I love Malta and I can't wait to go there. But instead, we're doing the cliche Amalfi Coast. I mean, it's not going to be beautiful. It's going to be my first time ever there. I just hate doing things that are like what everyone else does. I'm like naturally rebellious. Oh, we didn't even talk really about emo night and how emo night is like so heavily being it's being so represented. Sorry, I was gonna say reproduced. It's being so heavily represented in VPR. Like this, I'm living for this. Again, please, if you're not following me on my Instagram, Bella Talks TV, go look because it has a lot about. I was posting a lot of pictures yesterday from my emo days, and I'm going to the When We Were Young festival this October in Vegas, and that's an emo festival. And I've been an emo girl since 2004, and to take me back. So I can't even get back into that, but I just love emo night. And again, please go look at my Instagram. So anyways, back to talking about The Bachelor. So yeah, he's getting roasted. So he gets to Malta and they're doing his first little interview and they're like, Joey, what do you think of Malta? He's like, oh, it's great. It's really vintage. It has like a really like old school vibe. And the history of Malta is that it's like one of the oldest countries, in the world. So it was really funny that he said it had an old school vibe and people are just kind of like, wait, is Joey kind of dumb? Like, is he kind of like a himbo? And I don't think he is. I'm sure he's like a really smart guy. He does seem like it's very cliche to say, or like such a bad stereotype to be like, oh, athletes are dumb, but he is a professional athlete. I think he kind of has that just charm, that dumb charm about him, kind of like puppy charm. It makes me think of Travis Kelce when he had his old tweets exposed and he was like, I just gave a squirrel a piece of bread. Like squirrel was spelled wrong. Oh my gosh. It's so funny. If you don't know about the Travis tweets, please go look. I live for those. So yeah, no one's talking about the Bachelor. No one's talking about the Travis tweets. Like no one's talking about these men. The two biggest bachelors in our nation right now, Travis Kelce and Joey Graziani, or whatever his name is, Grazidelli. And they're both not the smartest, but very, very entertaining. So good. So many things going on this week. The Super Bowl, I hated it. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so I was really, really hoping that they were going to make it to the Super Bowl, but they were beat by the 49ers. And then I was like, okay, well, naturally you want your team to just win. Like the one that beats you would rather see them win because then it's like worth it. But the 49ers didn't win either. There's a lot of conspiracy about whether or not this whole thing was rigged. Did you guys see that meme that Biden put out where he was like, it went just as planned, Chiefs, with like the flames in his eyes? Oh my God. Biden's in on it. So much going on this week. Oh, that's why I couldn't wait to talk to you guys. So, okay. Let's get into my OMG and my LOL of the week too, because those are two big moments too of things going on. So let's start with my OMG of the week. I just caught up with Married at First Sight. So again, I always have to get a little bit of Married at First Sight in. No one really talks about this show. It's on its 16th season, I think, like 17th maybe. Go watch. Like if you're looking for a show this winter, you need a good binge. I'm trying to think of like the best seasons. Start with like the newest ones. You don't have to go back and like know the old characters. So just start with the newest season if you're someone who just wants to see the most current, and go and really get into Married at First Sight. So it's like Love is Blind, but on crack, because they don't get to have an engagement trial period before choosing to get married. They just get married. So the second they meet each other legally, and then that's it. So it is just the most insane show. Now, this season, my OMG moment is Emily and Brennan. There are a couple that have been struggling this season. Brennan seems really closed off to the process and like he's just not into her. And it's heartbreaking because she is awesome. And it just kind of shows like the point of the Love is Blind show too is it's like it's supposed to be about exploring somebody like beyond a physical connection and really trying to build an emotional bond. And it's like not working for some people. Some people are really closed off emotionally, and this is not a good channel for you to then pursue love, probably, because you have to be open to anything that's going to be at the end of the aisle for you. So I don't know. Some people just are not. Brennan seems like he's not into it. Anyways, Emily this week, they go on an ATV. They're on a couples retreat in Colorado, and they go on an ATV tour, and Emily, her ATV slips off the path. It gets caught under a tree and a branch went under her helmet, and she ended up having to have plastic surgery on her face and her scalp and her eye. Luckily, she didn't lose any eyesight or anything, but just the amount of blood and everything was shocking because she's blonde, kind of like the exact same hair color as me, and her hair was pink. Like it was so much blood being lost. And then watching how Brennan treated her and made sure that she, was making sure that she got everything she needed at the hospital, making sure that she had somebody to be with in the ambulance. Like this was her first time ever being in an ambulance. So scary. It's a lot. The whole thing had me really like glued watching. Anytime somebody's put in a position like that is literally life or death, you really see someone's true colors come out. And somebody that I didn't like all season, I was really to like punch Brendan in the face. If I ever saw him on the street, I was like, this guy really sucks. Now I'm kind of like, damn, all right. Like, I don't hate him as much anymore. This really showed me a different side of him. He seemed to really care about her and does have a nurturing side for her. Whether or not he has a physical connection with her, it does seem like they have some kind of emotional bond. So decision day is coming up, where if you're not a fan of the show, they have basically 8 weeks to be married, and then they decide to get a legal divorce. And most couples stay together. So I wonder what they're going to do. A lot of people like to stay together beyond the experiment too, when the cameras are gone, just to see like what married life would be like. I think maybe that's my prediction for them. But I'm just happy that she's okay. And she was so amazing afterwards. She got all these stitches in her head, and she was just like, I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy to be here. So love people that have an amazing attitude like that. And accidents happen, and sometimes she's not as lucky. I actually know two people. I mean, being from Michigan, it's kind of not that uncommon, but I personally know two people that have passed away from that same reason. So very, very, very tragic. So we will see with the rest of the couples. This season is a hot mess. So just to run through it quickly, we have Becca and Austin, who again do not have a physical connection and have not ever consummated their marriage. So I don't know if they're going to stay married or not. We have Chloe and Michael, who Michael was the groom who got left at the altar. They repaired him with a new bride named Chloe. Chloe too seems like she's not into it. So something's going on there. We have Cameron and Claire. So they were going to get a divorce, and then Cameron went into the hospital, and again now is having health problems, and it's bringing them closer together. Unclear what's going to happen there. And then we have Orion and Lauren, who got divorced like 3 days after they got married. So this season is not great, but if you love drama, it's a good season. Oh, and just speaking about Lifetime really fast, if you didn't watch all of the Gypsy Rose, there's 6 new episodes, I think, of her from getting released, from her whole story and then getting released. Go watch. That is amazing. Another show on Lifetime that I haven't had a chance to watch yet is Teresa Caputo. The Long Island Medium is back. And I was so sad when her show got canceled. She is an incredible person, and she's back on. There's like 6 new episodes I have to go watch. So anyways, that's enough about Lifetime and Married at First Sight. We'll move on to my LOL of the week. So my LOL of the week, it was kind of hard to choose. This was like a really weird week, and there was a lot of like bad, sad drama. I feel like reality TV has just always been like kind of in a dark point. But this week, I really had to go with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So Sutton had me cracking up. Unclear if she's just drunk. Is it just comedy because she's being like a silly drunk goose, or she seems really funny. So I'm really just loving her this season. So in this last episode, they get back from Spain, and actually it's funny, Spain and Barcelona were on my honeymoon check. I was maybe thinking about going there, and then them going there made me not want to go there. So it's funny how Bravo can like influence you like that. I was like, yeah, I don't know. It's not really honeymoon vibes after seeing like Merce's ashes get spread there. So not going there now. But this whole episode of them getting back. So specifically in the beginning of the episode, Sutton goes to her riding stable, and she goes to see Santos, her horse that she bought when she was on, did she Amazon him? Unclear. She bought him online one night, she said, when she, after drinking, like we all do make these Amazon purchases. So she gets this horse. She goes to visit him. She's never rode him before. So she's going there in hopes to ride him for the first time. Avi, I think you guys know from Avi, if you were at BravoCon, you can see if you're watching me on the video, I'm wearing my BravoCon hat today. If you were at BravoCon, Avi was there, and a lot of people were hanging out with him. But Avi's in this episode. He takes her to the stable, and when they get there, they're walking up, and they're like, Sutton's like, oh, look, there he is. He looks so beautiful today, talking about the horse. And it's actually a different horse. So it's funny because the producers are just like, not Santos, like putting an arrow, like not her horse. As she gets closer, she's like, wait, that's not him. Okay. Like not my horse. Then they find him. They make a joke about it. And then as they're getting ready to go, they kind of are like, feeling like, hi, Santos, like getting him ready to be ridden for the first time. And Avi's like, let me give you a purple carrot. And at that moment, the horse just reaches over, grabs the carrot out of there. It's a very cute, funny moment. Just seeing their reactions too. Santos just seems like a really fun, like cute horse. So anyway, Sutton gets to ride him for the first time. And just that whole scene really had me laughing. And this whole episode had me cracking up. If you watch the rest of it beyond the horse stable scene, she shows up to Anne-Marie's Diamonds party. And she, again, is Liddy. She really is into this ocean spray grapefruit with the vodka. and she's making herself a drink at the party, and she literally puts like this much vodka in it. And then I think she realizes the camera's watching her, and she's like, oh shit. And she pours some of it out into the sink, but like, it's a lot of vodka. It's a disgusting amount of vodka. So, I mean, whatever though, like, if she's not driving and hitting people's cars like Shannon Bedore, or hitting people's houses, I should say, if she's not out there getting DUIs and like harming people, it's not great to be an alcoholic, but she's going through a divorce. Seems like she's lost a lot of people. Seems like she really could use maybe like a good partner who's a good influence on her. She goes on this second date with this Steve guy. Oh my God. It's hilarious. So first they show up and he's like, she has a Celine bag, which goals. I want a Celine bag. And he's like, oh, like Celine Dion. And she's like, no, Celine Dion does not make purses. But that was really funny. And then he actually snorts, which I thought was so cute. Like, I like them together, but if they're just like getting drunk and going to the surly go, I don't know if they're going to be like a good influence on each other. So I don't know. I'm just loving Sutton. She was really cracking me up this season, or in her little drunken ways. So those were my OMG and my LOL moments of the week, the moments that we're not talking about. And I think it's been a really good week in TV. I mean, I just feel like I've been like bursting at the seams to get all of this out. So let's take a quick little break here, and I am going to take my dog out, and then I'm going to come back and do our top 5 countdown. So they have Joe and Luann as the guest, and then they have Danielle there in that like Oprah chair that Andy has. And so they're still dating and seeing each other at this time, but apparently Luann and Joe were like heavily flirting, and like, I don't even know, even during commercial breaks, I guess it was like a little uncomfortable. Like that was the tea that was going on. So for me, it didn't really look that crazy. Luann flirts with literally everybody. So I didn't think it was anything that insane, but Danielle, as we know, is very jealous. So I think that there was some drama there, and there's some speculation that the rumor that's going to be dropped at the reunion of Southern Hospitality is that it's that Joe and Luann actually did hook up, and that's why him and Danielle broke up. And that's apparently a whole situation too. So Southern Hospitality, so good. I know they're going to get a 3rd season. They have to. That just made me have a little reminder that I saw something about Family Karma this morning, that they were all together. It makes me so sad that they got canceled. Why did they get canceled? Bring them back. Okay, anyways, let's move on to my number 4. So my number 4 moment of the week this week is actually from Traitors again. So I think I talked about Traitors Fever a little bit last week. We're on episode, I think 8 now was the episode last night. So I think we have 2 left. I can't handle it. I can't handle this. So, but the number 4 moment was the moment when Kate got recruited last night. So we go through all of this drama of getting Parvati taken out as a traitor. And Peter's, flip-flopped at the last minute, and he starts going for Phaedra. And honestly, Trishelle, she did a really, really good job. Like, I'm not a Trishelle fan, but I kind of like am appreciating her in this moment, especially as a reality TV icon. She really killed this challenge. I didn't know that she also won Fear Factor. She was going through that tunnel with all those bugs and stuff. Like, all the other women got left, and got $1,000 deducted from their pot because they couldn't handle the challenge. Trishelle really killed it. Her and Sandra were the only women that completed it, I think. So they're amazing. And they're also just both reality TV legends. I think that they have chances both to win this as faithfuls. So we will see what happens with them. But they really start coming for Phaedra too. Everyone starts coming for Phaedra this episode again. And it's really hard to watch. And you're just as you think, like, shit, what is she going to do? In the last moment, because Parvati gets taken out, she is the last traitor left. She gets to recruit somebody, and she chooses Kate, which is such a good move. I had chills. You know that meme where it's like the skeleton, but it's like the fiber optic skeleton, like holding like the globe. Like, that's how I felt in that moment. I'm like, she did it. She unlocked like a new level of this game. She is so good. And she is really funny too. Like, when Kevin called her out with the twitchy eye, I'm like, not the twitchy eye. It's actually a good point, especially when Trishelle was saying how being a poker player helps her really read people's facial expressions and stuff. She's smart. She's doing good at this game. So even if her over being really dramatic about not getting her fire lit and stuff, it worked. She didn't get eliminated. They murdered Bergie, and she's still here, and CT feels more aligned with her. So it's interesting how this game really can change day to day. So that was the number 4 moment of the week. I loved when Phaedra goes, "We're going to become a murdering duo." That was the moment. Okay, so number 3 moment of the week, the Love is Blind premiere. So here we are, season 6. Nick and Vanessa Lachey are back. Now, if you guys remember, they've been getting roasted for a while, ever since Vanessa Lachey was wasted at the live reunion. You guys remember when they tried to do the Netflix live reunion, and it was it was a total bomb, and then it was delayed an hour, and by the time they actually got the broadcast going, Vanessa was drunk. She got roasted for that. She always just asks the worst questions. They really need Tan France, I think, personally, to do these. He is such a good Netflix reunion host, but he has drama, you guys, with Bobby, right? It's so sad that that's the reason why Bobby left Queer Eye. I haven't even finished the new season of that. There's been so much good TV that I haven't even gotten back to that yet. So yes, sorry. So back to my number 3, the number 3 moment again, Love is Blind premiere. So Nick Lachey, did you guys also see that cringy TikTok of him where he's like trying to do this like a cappella version and he's like singing on his couch and it's so bad? Please go Google Nick Lachey TikTok singing if you need a little smile today. But I'm really liking this season so far. So I stayed up a little bit late last night after the Traitors to watch this because I didn't have time during the day yesterday. And it was a really good premiere, better than I thought, because I did not love the last season between Lydia and Milton and all this other drama. Oh, I hated the Houston season. So Charlotte's already off to a bang. We have Michael, who by far is already like the most insane character. Like there's always one. He reminds me actually of some certain people that I know, just like that awkward personality. And it's a mix of like, I'm smarter than you, and he looks like he maybe has some money. So it's like, I'm smarter than you and I have money, so I'm going to judge you a little bit, but also I'm awkward and I'm really aware of the cameras, and there's like a weird he's just got a really weird vibe about him. But he instantly starts connecting with AD, who is Amber Desiree. So him and AD start hitting it off. And as soon as he starts getting into her, you're like, damn, this guy's really cute. Like he starts to become like a little charming and you're into him. But immediately it starts to become almost like Dahmer vibes, which is a really harsh statement and a harsh accusation to make. But like it's that same thing of like, okay, this guy is that kind of like awkward, cute, charming, but like then he starts to say these weird things that give you just like a weird feeling. And AD starts noticing that she overhears that what she's being told by him, he's also telling other women. So spoiler alert that's in the 2nd episode. And I'm not really sure what to think about Michael and AD now. So AD also has a connection with Clay, and he tried to find out what she looked like, and that's giving me Shake vibes. If you guys know from the Chicago season of Love is Blind, when he also tried to ask the girl, would I be able to put you on my shoulders or would you be too heavy? Trying to find out what the girl's body type was like. Hello, that's not the point of the show. The point is called Love is Blind. Don't talk about appearance. I don't even like that AD asked Michael about race. She basically did bring up that she's Black. And I don't think that is supposed to be the point. If you guys remember season 1, Lauren and Cameron, they never exposed that one was white, one was Black, and they're still together. So I think that you have to really take the experiment for what it is and treat it as Love is Blind. So I'm interested to see how this love triangle plays out. I'm not like super in love with a lot of the other people on the show yet. I think that this is the most compelling storyline so far, but we'll see things unfold. Really good premiere. So getting on to my number 2 most talked about moment of the week, we have got to talk about Portia Guabadia, aka Portia Williams, aka Portia Stewart. If y'all remember, if you guys go back that far, do you guys remember her first husband. Oh my gosh. I've been watching all of this Housewives since they were on their season 1. So I'm an OG fan of each franchise. And I remember every single thing about Portia. I am so excited that she's coming back. And I'm dying laughing at everybody online right now that's putting out these things of like, let's get the cast of Kenya, Portia, Nene. Like, are you guys on drugs? Do you have amnesia? Nene sued Bravo. And like Andy specifically, she's never coming back. So like I said, I will totally eat my words and be like, I'm a flop, and like make the clown meme, the Kylie Jenner putting on the clown makeup meme of myself if I'm wrong, but she's never coming back. So I'm willing to pretty much stake everything I have on that. Now I'm happy to have Portia back. Portia didn't do these things. Portia didn't leave on these terms. Portia didn't bit the hand that fed her and made her. So I'm happy to have her back. And I'm happy to see what's up with her and this new husband, because you guys remember that was messy as hell too. Fallon, the housewife, and Portia stole the husband. I got it. And she's going to have to talk about it. You know Kenya's going to talk about it. You know Kenya's going to bring it up. She needs a new person to fight with. And they needed to keep this show going. It was on life support. So I'm really excited for this new season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Not sure when it will be filming, premiering, all of that stuff, but I'm excited to see where it takes us. Oh yeah, and bye Candy. Candy had a really good run. It was time for her to go though. She was the longest running housewife of all time. So amazing. I'm snapping to her. Okay, so time for my number one moment of the week. I couldn't wait to talk about this with you guys because I just feel like even just being in Florida right now, I almost just feel like at any moment I could see LARSA, and I'm constantly like, I'm going to be going to Miami next week with my mom when she's in town visiting, which is just 30 minutes away. But I feel like I'm just hanging out downtown in South Beach every day. But I'm going to be on the lookout for all of these ladies because I just am praying that I'm going to go to some of these restaurants or do something. Like I need to run into one of them. I need to see Lisa. If I see Lisa, Alexia, maybe I'll go to Alexia and Frankie's beauty bar and get my nails done. Like I do need to get my nails done. That'd be something fun to do with my mom. We'll see what I end up doing, but I'm living for the Real Housewives of Miami. So again, here we are. Number one moment of the week is LARSA and Marcus, their Super Bowl breakup announcement, their Valentine's Day makeup announcement. And here we are today talking about the latest development, which is apparently Marcus had an outburst at the reunion that was so bad that is causing all of this tumultuous up and down roller coaster toxicity. So we don't know what this is yet. The reunion we know that this has been filmed. I'm interested to see like what specifically is going on with LARSA that would make him get so heated, because all of the drama that she had this season was very valid. And the stuff with Gertie and her cancer, like what the hell was that? Just her, kind of being on the wrong side of history for the most part. And maybe, I'm not sure, like she didn't get into anything that deep that didn't have to do with Gertie. So I guess that's maybe what it's going to be about. So we will see. I'm really, really loving Kiki. We have to circle back to that because I wasn't like the biggest Kiki fan. And then she really won me over on the Gondola Ride from Hell episode. So whatever's going on with Larsa and Marcus. So, okay, you guys know I'm a Chicago girly. Like I lived in Chicago for 10 years and Bulls culture and Michael Jordan and all this stuff is just kind of like embedded in you. So after all of the time that I spent living there, I just became like a fan of the Michael Jordan franchise and being interested in them as a family. And when Larsa started dating Marcus, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, that really blew me away. Like, okay, what people don't realize when she's like, oh yeah, I didn't really know Marcus. Like he was so much younger than me. Like, yeah, they didn't really like know each other, but she knows his dad. Like him and his dad vacationed together, spent time together, spent holidays together. I'm sure like that's weird. So that's basically her best friend's son. So yeah, she didn't know Marcus like that, but it was really close with Michael Jordan. And clearly, being married to Scottie for those many years, even though Michael and him had a tumultuous relationship, you can tell Michael Jordan is a narcissist to, I don't even know like how much more of a narcissist you could be probably. Did you guys watch that whole series? Yeah, he struggles from a lot of stuff too. So it's not like the Jordan, empire is perfect either. So there's a lot of problems there and a lot of things that go on. But that is my number one moment of the week. You guys have got to, I just have a lot of opinions about this. I really want to see how this plays out. I was so happy that they broke up because I thought Larsa was having a moment of like something happened between them. Maybe he was like supposed to propose by Valentine's Day or something and hadn't, or I'm not sure what exactly could have happened where there was maybe an ultimatum because I know she really wanted to get engaged and like secure that bag. But she didn't do it. She kind of flopped on the bag. She fumbled the bag, and now I think she's trying to recover the bag, but I think it's gone, and we're just gonna have to see. I can't wait for the reunion again. How beautiful were all of those ladies? That was like my favorite reunion looks of all time. And just so much going on with that. So I will be keeping you guys posted. I will be definitely back again next week with another episode. Hopefully I will have a guest for you guys next week. I'm hoping to be able to spend a little extra time recording Monday and Tuesday, because this is what I really like. I love doing this. I love coming here and having this chat with you guys every week and just keeping it casual and just keeping it kind of like a little FaceTime. And I just really appreciate you guys. So again, just a reminder that I do the video now. This will be up on my YouTube. So go search Bella Talks TV YouTube and you will be able to watch last week's and this week's episode. And please make sure you're following me on Instagram, of course, Bella Talks TV. Find me in my stories every day, just talking shit about Bravo celebrities and other things going on. And also stay tuned for more bonus episodes and things coming up in the future. Please be sure to rate and review wherever you're listening, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Please make sure that's how other people can find me. And just leave a review with your favorite part of the structure of the show, or maybe something that you like about me, or even if you just think my dog is cute, please just leave some kind of positive comment so other people can know to listen and know that I'm here talking all things reality TV every week. I'm trying to stretch this out every week as much as possible, coming to you on a Friday afternoon, because when most people are taking the afternoon off, I'm trying to be here to give you the most latest update on everything before you go off for the weekend. So again, Bella Talks TV signing off, and I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. Have a great weekend, and we will talk soon. Ciao, Bellas.